I create things that I want to see in the world, and I'm curious about what they're gonna look like. And I won't know if I like them or not until I make them. It's so hard to express what you want to express in words, and I think that's one thing that really drew me to being a visual artist in the beginning, was that I didn't have to try to explain myself. I could just make. When you're working with hot glass, you have to be in the moment, like every bit of the way. You can't lose your concentration. You have to just keep going. It's just a beautiful rhythm that you get into when you work. It's like everything else disappears. It's dangerous, and it's hot, and it's fast, it's fluid, and it's really challenging. And I love that about glass. Coming up with new ideas and new forms and new patterns, new designs, I feel like it's boundless. I'm developing a new direction in my work with the wall panels. The process is somewhat unusual. It's a new way of working for me, but it's actually an old technique for making window pane glass. What I do is I start out with a pattern of cane or marini, and then I roll it up and blow it into a cylinder. There's so much planning that goes into my work, but one thing about glass that doesn't happen probably in any other medium is the unexplained. Something will happen, and you have to be able to react to what's happening with the glass. It can take different turns. It can take you through a journey that you didn't expect to go on. It's the last finishing parts of the piece that I want to be exactly perfect. And sometimes it will drive my team crazy because I will take as long as I have to make it right. The panels are a new thing for me, and I started thinking about like making a book of just the pattern work that I do on my pieces, on my sculptures. And then I thought about, well, why not make the sketchbook on the wall? You know, why don't I bring those pages to life with my cane work and just work in a new way? They feel like drawings because obviously they're two-dimensional, you know, they're flat, but they still have the qualities of glass that I love. They still have like those unexpected moments. You go through the day and you see things, you observe things, and it's all information that gets stored in you. And then you start to translate the things that inspire you, the things that stand out in the day. And sometimes you never know what your inspiration's gonna be, and then it comes out in certain ways. I love looking at different patterns. I think about the relationship between cane, stringers, marini, and how they relate to fabrics. A really well-cut suit and a beautiful dress, the way it flows, things like that really inspire me. I think about the patterns and how I see them moving on glass. I also really like to look at the imperfections in a weave, or like the jagged edge where it's been ripped off. It's like could be a hole in the fabric, something that has been distressed. You can make a very precise pattern with cane. And I enjoy doing that. But I find it to be much more interesting when there's some distress or there's like, you know, the mark of the artist in there.
I like the idea of the piece changing from three-dimensional into two-dimensional. There's something really interesting that happens because there's so much movement in the glass. The cane is constantly moving and stretching and expanding. I have a pretty good idea of what I'm gonna get, but there's always an element of surprise when I see the piece opened. I'd say one thing I really strive for in my work is synergy and balance. Whether it's between the pattern that I put on a form in my sculptures or the relationship between one panel to the next.
As soon as I saw somebody blowing glass, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. But I didn't want to just be good at it. I wanted to be really good at it. And so I immediately set up a high standard for myself. And I put myself into positions where, you know, I learned from one of the greatest glass artists in the world, Lino Tagliapietra. You know, I have my own team now, and I have my own practice, and I bring those high standards to my own practice. To make what I want to make, I need a really great team, a team that I can rely on, a team that, you know, is just as excited as I am to be in the hot shop, and a team that wants to see me succeed. It's really amazing, like choreographing a team to make your work, help you to see your vision come true, come alive. It's every day, all the time, constantly evolving. Sometimes you don't know what's next until it hits you.
I think art is both a question and an answer. We ask the question, what if? And we answer that question through the process of making. I really like that.